What up, YouTube? It's your boy Penny LS1 checking in. It's already hot, but today we got a lot of work to do. So my goal for today and tomorrow. So today's Saturday. My goal is to get everything prepped. I've already wet sanded the jambs, but I still need to apply some seam sealer to some of the areas that I removed it from. So the goal today is to get all the seam seal applied and mask the car off. And then first thing tomorrow morning, before it gets too hot, I'm gonna come out here, paint the door jambs, the trunk jambs, and I'm gonna take the deck lid. It's already off the car. Take that round back, blow up my inflatable paint booth. We're gonna paint the underside of the trunk. We're gonna paint the hinges. We'll get to that in a second. The hinges will get painted off the car, and the front bumper, I'm gonna paint the jam part of the front bumper. The reason I'm gonna do that is because when I paint the car, I'm painting the bumper on the car. Because the way that bumper's made, if you paint it off the car, I've seen it too many times, you take the risk of not getting the good match if you're using metallic, pearl, especially candy. I've seen it. I don't care what nobody says. I've seen it. I know plastic and metal, sometimes they don't match either way, but the way those metallics are going to fall, if you paint the bumper separate and not on the car, I've seen Monte Carlos drive around all the time and that bumper looks a different shade. Speaking of hinges, what I initially was going to do is paint the hinges on the car, because from the factory there's seam sealer applied on the top part of the hinge. I'm assuming to keep water from getting in between the back side of the hinge and the car, the A-pillar, to prevent rust. Well, in my case, the seam sealer failed. It cracked. Obviously, it's 30-some years old, and water got in there and caused rust. But when I took the hinges off and saw the rust, what I discovered is from the factory, they didn't even paint the A-pillar before they put the hinge on. Or the hinge. So in essence, it was metal to metal. So that made it worse. So what I've done, I've already put epoxy primer on the jam. So that part of the hinge is covered in epoxy primer and high build primer. And I've got it wet sanded with 320. So it's ready to take a sealer, primer sealer, and then base coat, pearl coat, clear coat. So real quick, I'm gonna show you what I was talking about on this bumper. So this is what I was talking about. I call this the jam part. See, when I primed this bumper, I never even touched this. So it's just plastic. So we'll get this scuffed up. I got some adhesion promoter, and we'll just we'll shoot it with the sealer, and then we'll go ahead and paint, like I say, just this piece right here, the part that's black. So that way when I mount it on the car, I can paint the bumper without having to worry about painting this later. And like I say, it's got a lip right here, so you won't see the tape line. I think I'm gonna tape it to about, yeah, I'll tape it to just under this line and paint the jams, because when I paint it on the car, I'm gonna have it spaced off from the fender, so I'll be able to get paint on this part of it. So we'll put the tape under here. So I just want to show y'all that. All right, so this is some of the stuff I got laid out that I'm gonna be using today. Of course, I'm using the universal paint system from Spectrum. Picked this up this morning at Harbor Freight. I ran out of liners, so we got a new box of that. Got my gun cleaner. Got to keep the gun clean, since I will be using the same gun for pretty much every step on this paint job. I do have another gun that I'll use for primer, but this gun I will use for base, pearl, and clear. So I'll clean it out in between with this. And then this is the seam sealer that I was talking about. So this is just a one-part seam sealer. So this is not meant to be put over paint. It is paintable, but you can't put it over paint. It won't stick, it won't seal properly. So this has to be put over a primed surface. So we'll use this for all the areas that I have primed right now. And then, like I say, as far as the hinges, I'll get a two-part seam sealer that I can use over top of cured paint or clear coat. This is the gun right here. So this is the Aero Pro. I think it's the A610. So like I say, this is a low volume, low pressure. It's done very well. I've pretty much painted everything since I started spraying the color. The hood, the fenders, the inner fenders, I painted all that with this gun. And if you haven't seen my video, this is the paint that I'm gonna be using. So this is my sealer right here. It's a white sealer with the hardener. Got my reducer, and the clear coat that I'm using is the House of Colors Show Clear. Got the hardener for that as well. All House of Colors takes the same reducer, so I had 1.5 gallons of slow reducer. And then here's my color. So this is the base coat right here. So I got it labeled Pearl base coat. That's because it's a base coat, but I mix a bunch of pearls and metallics, and I've got everything that I use labeled right here. That way, if I ever forget, but I have a data sheet that I save on my iPad. So that's my base coat, which is basically a white with all this in it, which is, it's got some fine metallic, super fine metallic. It's got a sterling silver pearl, and it's actually got some white pearl as well. So that's base coat, and then this is just straight pearl right here, straight snow white pearl. So this is what I'm going to be using in this video to paint the jambs and the underside of the deck lid. And of course, safety first. Regular respirator, when you start shooting clear, I don't know if it's just me, but it gets in my eyes and my eyes burn. So I'm going with a full face respirator and got my gloves, and we're ready to go. So let me go ahead and get these doors, fenders off, get those around back, and we'll go ahead and start laying some of this seam sealer down. All right, y'all, I don't know if y'all saw that or not, but this thing fell apart. This jack is not designed specifically for this, but I had made it work before, and I'm trying to remember how I did it, because as you saw, I don't know if you saw in that time lapse, as soon as I got that bolt out the door just fell. Because as soon as the weight got on it, it pushed it like that, and then it came up. Because all I did was I just had this bolt in here, because you can't get the nut on the bottom. So I just had it in here like this, and it's a little bit of bolt hanging out on the bottom, but it came out all just like that. So I'll figure it out. I got to get the other door off, and then we'll keep going. See ya. So I got everything masked up for where I want to lay the seam sealer. On this side, it's just right there where the A-pillar and the cowl, or basically where the top and the cowl meet. That's it on this side. And on the other side is the same area, but I'm gonna show you this back area. I already did this. I already laid the seam sealer last week down up in here. Hold on, let me bring you. Hold on. All right, but no, I already laid this seam sealer. It's dry. I did this last week. So this is the section that I had to grind out because it was rust and all the seam sealer was peeling right there, and also right here. And on the other side, pretty much the same as the passenger side right here, but also this section right here. I already laid that down just now. It's already dry actually. This stuff dries pretty fast and it's hot outside. So I'll just I started feather edging this because the seam sealer was on top of this silver paint. And it didn't fall off until I just started I was wiping it to clean it, and it started falling off in chunks. So I just went ahead and scraped it off, and I just got some 120, and I'm gonna feather edge all that out. I already scuffed it up in there with 120 before I laid the seam sealer, but I'm gonna finish scuffing this up and feather edge it so that way when I put my sealer before I put my base coat, everything, the transition will be decent. So I did that with the last of the tube that I had. As you can see, I had to cut the tip way short because it was clogged up because I used it already, and you know, like I said, it's only one part, but once it dried in the tip, I couldn't get it to squeeze out, so I cut the tip down there and just stuck this little thing right here in there to clean it out. But I do got a new tube. I want to pick this up this morning, so we're gonna cut this one off probably somewhere up top, like right up in here. And that should be good enough to make a nice little bead right down up in there. Because as you can see, this is where the top is welded to the A-pillar or to the cowl. So it's got two pieces of metal that are, I don't know if I guess they're spot welded right there. So all that was cut out or cleaned out when I was sanding and cleaning up the rust. So I'm gonna reapply that on this side and the other side, and then we'll go ahead and start masking the car up, get ready for paint in the morning. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and try to lay this with this last little bit that's left in this tube. I think I can still get some out of here. And let's see. So I'm gonna lay it down, and I got a glove on, and I'll spread it with my finger. Yeah, I think I got plenty to do this. So I'm just gonna lay a nice thick bead. Nothing to it. The tape is on it just so I don't get it all over where I don't want it, basically. Oh yeah, that's it. I didn't even have to buy that other tube, but it's all good. So I'm not gonna leave it thick like that. I could use a spreader actually. Matter of fact, let me grab a spreader. The spreader to kind of, I'm not trying to duplicate the factory look like some people try to do. That's cool. I'm just trying to get it in here. Like I said, you don't even see this anyway once the door and the fender is on. But yeah, because I'm from the factory, they just kind of smeared it all over the place, just like this. And then when I pull the tape up, it'll have a nice clean line where the seams meet. Yeah, we good. Right there, right here, and right here. All right, maybe I should have went a little bit wider, bring it up past that lip, but I think it should be okay once it dries. But on the other side, I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna bring it up a little bit wider so it covers both seams, but it's not gonna get in there. So let's get to the other side and get it done. All right, y'all, it's literally hours later. Painting is not hard. The prep work and masking is the hard part. So anyway, I got it all masked up. I just need to finish taping off the wheels. And first thing in the morning, we're gonna come out here and spray. So, but yeah, the hood is on top of the roof. I don't care. That's why I had to put paper down at the bottom, because the plastic didn't come down far enough because of the hood is up there. So we got the trunk ready to go. Got both sides. So first thing in the morning, like I said, I'm gonna spray these jams. I'm gonna take this out back. I'm gonna put this in the inflatable paint booth. We're gonna get this set up. We'll paint this after the jams, along with there was something else I needed to paint too. I can't remember, but so we'll check back in with y'all in the morning. This right now is what we call the magic hour. So when that pearl is on here, man, it's gonna be hitting at this hour and this angle right here. So tomorrow, maybe I'll get y'all a good little thumbnail from this angle around this time. All right, man, I'll see y'all tomorrow. All right, y'all, we next day. We're ready to go. It ain't the best lighting in here, but I can see enough. That's my little makeshift filter with that exhaust fan. You can tell it's sucking because it's pulling the plastic. So we ready to go. I'll cut you back on after I'm gonna lay 2 coats of sealer, or maybe 1 coat, probably 1 coat of sealer. As long as I get good coverage, we should be good to go. I've already wiped it down with some wax and grease remover. I'm about to blow it off real quick, and then we're gonna go ahead and spray. All right, so I laid down 2 coats of sealer. I got a couple of runs, and also I had to wrap my arm in some paper towels, some shop towels. So I was dripping sweat. I don't know if you can see it right here. You probably can't see it because it's white, but a couple of drip from my arm, but it dried up and it looked like it's gonna settle pretty good. But you can see a nice run right there. Like, so you won't even see that when the car is put together, but still. It's hot. I'm using slow. reducer and yeah, I'm using slow reducer, but it's running. It's only 80 degrees right now. So I'm getting ready to lay down the base coat and I'll cut y'all back on. Oh, and I want to say, y'all can see that my little exhaust thing is working. You can see the paint on the filter, look. See it? You can see it actually pulling the plastic right here, you see that? So, it's doing what it's supposed to do. All right, we got 2 coats of base. I'm trying to shine a light on it to see. I don't know if y'all can see. The base does have some pearl and metallic in it. You probably can see a little bit right there. But once I put this white pearl on top, it's gonna pop a whole lot more. And then obviously with the clear coat. But you should be able to see a little bit of sparkle. You can see I got a big ass run right there. I'm gonna leave it too. I ain't even gonna try to, well, I mean, you can't fix it. I ain't got no, I guess 600 or 800 to get that out in the base before I put the clear, so I'm just gonna leave that. And then the one over here, the sweat droplets, you can see those pretty good. I'm gonna leave those too. That's gonna be a momentum of my first paint job. I'm just checking for coverage. Looks like I got it pretty good. So we're getting ready to lay down the pearl coat. And we're gonna call it a wrap after the clear. All right, we got 2 coats of pearl. I don't know how well that's showing up for y'all. No clear coat yet. Getting ready to lay the clear now. We got 2 coats of pearl. And then we're gonna lay this clear, we're gonna be done with it. And then we'll go out back and do the deck lid. All right, 2 coats of, or 3 coats of clear, and we're done. That extractor fan did pretty good. I don't know if y'all can see this pearl. I'm getting ready to pull the mask off. It's been about 40 minutes since I shot the last coat. Go ahead and unmask some of this so that before the clear coat hardens up. But you can see it. See that pearl? When I open this door, you're gonna see it real good on the back. We got some orange peel, but it's all good. Look at that corner right there. Look at that pearl. Yeah. But yeah, this little extractor fan, this is the one I use on my inflatable booth, and that's the filter for it. They're pretty good. You can see all the paint on the filter. So they're pretty good. But yeah, we got good results. As there's no bugs, because I did it early in the morning. It's just now, what time is it? It's just now 1:30. I just finished. So, and I don't see much trash. There may be some. So anyway, let me pull this mask off and I'll give y'all a better look. All right, y'all. So this is the finished product. Tell me what y'all think. I got a couple of runs, but I'm not gonna worry about it back here because the bumper is gonna cover. There's a run like right there, and then there's a run right there. The license plate mount is gonna cover that, and then the bumper is gonna cover that one. I did have some drips. Sweat dripped off my arm on this part right here. I don't know if you can see it in the camera, but it's like drip, drip, drips right there. I think you can see it. So I didn't bother with it because the tail light is gonna cover that part. So I did the best I can do under the circumstances here in the home garage. I did use my exhaust fan. That thing worked perfect. It worked perfect. I'm trying to wait for this sun to come down so y'all can get a good, so you can see it right there, that pearl. And then the door jambs, it matches, actually, it does match the fender liner. So I did a good job with mixing that paint. So can't really see it on there, the pearl. But we good to go. So I'm gonna let this cure for a couple of days. I was gonna do the trunk underside today, but man, this right here wore me out. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna do that another day. Let this cure up, and then once I do the trunk, we'll put everything back together. And then I gotta do the doors, the jambs on the doors. Then once I get everything mounted on, get everything aligned, then we can wet sand the exterior of the vehicle and we'll get ready to paint that. So yeah, not too bad. So make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell. Check me out on TikTok and Instagram at PennyLS1. I sure appreciate the support. Until next time, PennyLS1, holla at your boy.
Great Lucas.